Public speaking is very important, as I have already talked about in my previous video, and so many of you have viewed it, and I think it must have worked well to your advantage. Today I am going to talk about the preparatory stage of public speaking, as to what you should do before you go to the stage to make the public speech. You should know that public speech is quite important, and it is very important in every walks of life. Wherever you go, wherever you want to lead, you need to develop this skill. Public speaking is very important and everyone should learn it. Once you know how to speak in the public, you will develop your leadership skills. You can make progress in your life. This is the skill that you can learn. And we need to understand that in order to achieve perfections in life, in every walks of life, whether in business, in educations, or in leading any organizations, public speaking plays an important role. So the most important part is how to set the stage for the public speaking. Public speaking is not about the language. It's not about English, Odia, Hindi, or any other language. Regardless of language, we need to develop this skill. Sometimes we have the great competence on the language itself, but we fail to be a good public speaker because of certain reasons that I like to divulge in the current video. So the most important part is no doubt that we need to have good command over the language. If we want to be a good speaker in English, we should have good command over the language English. So is the case with Hindi and Odia. So when you want to be a good speaker in English, you should have good command over the language. You should have a rich stock of vocabulary at your fingertips. You should know how to use right kind of phrases, collocations, idioms. You should know how to use right kind of formulaic expressions, how the structure of the sentence should suit it to the context. So everything are taken into account. Besides that, there are certain things that we need to learn, we need to achieve in order to be a good public speaker. So I will give you certain tips. I will give you the fundamental tips, the concrete measures that you can follow and achieve perfections in public speaking. The first technique is to change your mindset. You need to change your mindset, change your attitude about public speaking as to what others are thinking about you. Sometimes we are more concerned about others than ourselves. We need to focus on what we are going to communicate rather than what the others will think about us. When we will adopt this technique, we can focus on ourselves without thinking of what the others will be thinking for us, about us, what the others will think if we fumble, if we are not able to speak in a proper way. So the most important thing is change your mindset, and this changing of mindset will certainly boost your confidence and you can speak in a better way. The second point is talk on the topic you are good at or you are passionate about. When you can speak on the topic you are good at, you can easily connect to the audience and there would be no problem at all. But sometimes the topic is pre-scheduled and you are restricted in this respect. If this is not the case, you should talk on the topic that you are good at so that you will be comfortable and you will be more confident on the occasions. The next point is practice, practice and practice. practice makes a man perfect. Without practice, we can never achieve anything. In order to achieve success, in order to find the finishing touch to any skill, we need to practice on a regular basis every day. So what are the different techniques of practicing public speech? We cannot enter into the stage on the spot, then and there, on a every day. In order to be a good runner, we need to run every day. So is the case with the swimmer. We need to swim every day on a regular basis. So is the case with the public speaking, because public speaking is a learnable skill and we need to learn it, we need to sharpen it, we need to hone this skill. So one important point here is we can develop this public speaking by standing before the mirror and speak. But when we speak before the mirror, maybe we are not able to see in the recording versions. But even standing before the mirror can be an added advantage to the practice of public speaking, because when you speak before the mirror, you can have your facial expressions, body language, gesture, posture. But with the smartphone at your fingertips, with the modern technology on the horizons that can be easily accessible and available, we need to use smartphone, the camera of the smartphone that can capture the video, the image, record our sounds, everything that we can refer to at the later part, and we can know where is the strength and weakness, where is the loopholes, where is our strength, in which part we should rectify ourselves, whether our body language is correct, whether the facial expression, whether there is smile on the face, whether the facial expressions, the gesture, posture, the movements of the hand, everything can be analyzed later on. So using the camera of the smartphone is a better option than the mirror. The next point is we need to have a write-up. Whether we can speak on the public platform as a kind of extemporary speech, or whether we should have a preparation. We need to have prepare. We should have a write-up. Whatever we are going to make in the public speech, we need to write everything from the very beginning to the end. We should have a brief outline. We should have the discussions or the speech in our mentality so that we can speak in a better way. So we should have a write-up. We need to read the write-up from the very beginning to the end, and we can make the public speech. But the most important part is the introduction part, because once we start introducing ourselves, once we start make the introductions in the public speech, we can get rid of the fear, anxiety, nervousness, everything. We can feel confident. So at least we should be confident about the introduction part. But there is no room for putting all those words, sentence by sentence, word by word, phrases by phrases into our brain, into our memory. Just we have to read that. As Mr. Jawaharlal Nehru, who was a great orator, who was a great speaker, mentioned as to how to make a good public speech. He told, first make a write-up. After making the write-up, we can use that write-up as a sort of guidelines. And when we go to the public space, just forget about everything. You will make a fresh ideas. And what happened? In this case, we can add new informations. We can use the informations that we have already written. So it will be completely new, and you will feel confident at the same time. The next point is you must watch some of the great leaders, great speakers. Most of the leaders are great public speakers. So we need to watch them. We need to see how they act in the public. What are the different ways that so well they speak in the public? We need to watch their way of speaking, way of presenting the different thoughts, the way of communicating the process of speaking. Besides that, you can watch their body language, their facial expressions while facing the public, the way they speak, the way they handle the situations. These are the different aspects of public speaking. So we need to watch them, and there is every way of watching them at the current generations, because we have the technology at our fingertips. We can watch them in the YouTube. There are recording videos, so we can watch them, and there are so many great public speakers. Like we have the Mr. Barack Obama, the former president of America. He was a great speaker. Just watch him and you will find a great amount of enthusiasm and positivity. You can watch the former Prime Minister of England, Mr. Tony Blair. You can watch some of the motivational speakers like Tony Robbins, Robin Sharma, Brian Tracy, Shiv Khera. They are great public speakers. They know how to handle the public. They know how to cater to the taste of the public, taste of the audience, and how they move on the stage, what their body language is, how they can speak, how they can modulate the tone, how they can change their voice in course of time. These are the different aspects of being a good public speaker, and just watch them closely, and you can be a very good public speaker. The next point is we must read about the public speaking. We can read a number of books written by experts on public speaking. We can watch the different sort of online courses by the experts. They have given certain tips. Just focus on those tips. And at present we can have ample materials. There are so many soft copies on public speaking, and that is available in different types of e-library. Just tune into that library and you can get the materials. Also you have online courses. And the last but not the least, we should focus on the breathing techniques, as to have a deep breathing before entering into the stage or stand before the podium to speak, so that we can have a proper voice, deep voice and loud voice, and we can speak with confidence in a relaxing mood. Thank you very much.